to Gruen. 'Tis the season for rampant consumerism.
It's finally arrived! The biggest savings event of the year! It's Black Friday, one day only!
That's right, Black Friday, a name that once referred to a financial crash, bushfires, a tornado, a shipwreck, and now an American shopping event. How American?
Today is the 8th annual Black Friday firearm special.
Finally, an opportunity for Americans to buy guns. Black Friday is my favourite brand holiday of the year, just behind...
Afterpay Day, Amazon Prime Day, Telstra Day is Disney Plus Day, eBay Tuesday.
Followed by Account Overdrawn Wednesday and Home Repossession Thursday. This year, the biggest Black Friday giveaway was on endless unwanted emails. Brands sent 12 times more than the previous year. Junk mail like this.
Big Friday.
Back in Black Friday.
Green Friday.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Plus more than 20 emails from Cotton On with emoji use to rival the most dramatic of breakups. This tasteful emoji from Maya, in case I wasn't already panicking about bushfire season, and Fashion Nova telling us to...
Wake the fuck up!
Rude. At least the consumers loved it.
If I receive one more Black Friday email, I'm just going to shut my account down altogether.
She's just mad Fashion Nova stole their slogan.
Wake the fuck up!
If the inbox harassment wasn't enough, every brand put their own zany spin on it.
It's Black Friday at Big W.
Black Friday. Kmart did Bright Friday. eBay offered deals every friggin' hour, while others stretched it to Black 4 Day.
Super Cheap Autos Black Friday sale, 4 days only.
That's not how days work. Other brands went even further.
It's Black November at Nick Scali.
Black November, still not how days work. Then there was this exciting deal.
Bob Jane T-Mart's Black Tie and Wheel Sale.
They're all black tyres, Bob. But surely it's all over now, right?
Black Friday is over, but it's Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
The Cyber Monday sale.
Ah! That's enough. It's time I started a new brand holiday.
It's finally arrived! The biggest savings event of the year!
Save 100% of your money. Slash your unread emails. Buy nothing. Unsubscribe to... Time to welcome our panel, Russell Howcroft, Karen Ferry, Carolyn Miller and Todd Sampson! It's the first day of December, meaning brands can finally launch the Christmas ads they've been running for the past 2 months. This year, Australians will spend over $55 billion on Christmas, and every brand is looking to get their stock into your stocking. Oh, where is Santa shopping?
For all sorts of thoughtful gifts this Christmas. Santa's first stop is Officeworks.
Hope it's not his last stop. Enjoy your Post-it notes, kids. But somehow that isn't even the worst gift.
By giving a gift that makes a garden gorgeous, it brings people together. And there's something for everyone, like our hose reel from only $199. Make Christmas special.
Hose, hose, hose! Sorry, am I getting old, or are those actually great presents? Meanwhile, Aldi, much like the middle of its store, sold us absolutely everything.
Deck those halls, fire up that pudding, stuff that bird. Because you can't overcook Christmas. Aldi, good, different.
I think I know the next Aldi special buy. It's a cooked Christmas. But I'm interested in all the sad sacks in this year's Christmas ads. Those Aldi people look like they just got a gift from Officeworks. Do brands want us to buy our way out of the misery?
Yes. Yeah, nothing says happiness like debt. Christmas is a marketer's dream. It's a gift to marketers. So the majority of the money for the year, some companies up to 60%, is spent during that 3 weeks. And also, our disposition to spend is high and our resistance is really low. So it is a total gift. And Aldi, I don't like the execution in its montage thing, but I do love the strategy, which is this sort of break free, acknowledging that we're all weary and over it and just having a go. It's kind of the Billy Bob Thornton Bad Santa strategy, and I like it. I think it works.
I absolutely love this ad. I'm sorry, but Aldi, I start to look forward to their Christmas ads now. Like the Surfing Santas, this one, which actually really does tap into an insight that Christmas is very stressful for a whole load of people. And then the fact that they just go to massive hyperbole with make it a rave, it's nonsense, and Christmas is nonsense, so fantastic.
And what this ad does and what Aldi does, it reminds us of how important an advertising end line is. Good different is just so... It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's just 2 words. A good word and a different word, and yet you stick them together.
The words are good and different. Good and different.
Whack them together, and then all of a sudden it is advertising genius. Just those 2 words coming together, and it cuts through, differentiates. It's brilliant. But the subhead or the line for this campaign, you can't overcook Christmas. How good is that? That is genuinely what advertising is actually about. The very, very, very best ads are great lines. And we don't get to see great lines that often. And it is, seriously, it's a thrill to see a line like "You can't overcook Christmas." It's true, it's fun, it's on brand, it is going to work.
Looked like everyone in that ad had a few lines, to be honest. Might have had Christmas at Nadia Bartel's place.
I think the thing is they stand out really well in the competitive space of supermarkets. Like you look at what Coles' ad were and Woolies' ad, it's this jolly montage where Aldi obviously have tapped into a really unique emotional insight. The thing is, insights only work when they're unique. So if everyone came out with a sad ad, it wouldn't be exciting anymore. So it's just about the fact that it's unique. That's, I think, gives it what its standout quality is. If we all start seeing like ads that are just empathetic about how shit Christmas can be, we'll just want to go back to the jolly ads again.
Yeah, you've also got a great advertiser or a great client, because the client is willing to have in the edit a fist going into a turkey. And
that is the true meaning of Christmas. If you can't get around with your family and fist a turkey at Christmas, what did Jesus be born for in the first place?
That's what I'm saying.
Christmas is also the time for giving companies your data. Crypto.com found 1/4 of Australians planned on giving a crypto-centric gift. Another survey found 2/3 of us think Christmas Day is about food. Oh, who commissioned that survey? Coles. Down, my trust in data is down. While another survey suggests around half of us will do our Christmas shopping online. Westfield hit back with this. In the longer cut, Santa forgets where he parked and has to eat Prancer and Blitzen to survive. I don't mean to be car park half empty about that ad, but Karen, would a single customer on earth have a positive association with Christmas parking?
There is a reason why Westfield have to run this ad. It's like they need to draw in customers like that to get in store, because Westfield is just a giant landlord and they make all their money off their tenants, which are shops. And for shops, Christmas is the biggest time of the year.
It's a COVID-safe ad. So it's an individual person, there's no crowds, and they're hinting at, please come, because Westfield's strategy is to get you in. And the reason they want you in is because there's less priming for them online, where the priming in store is huge. You got music, you got the Christmas music, you got the disorientation of the design, the layout, you've got smells, you've got salespeople. Online, there are a lot more than that online, but they haven't figured out how to leverage that as much. So they want people to come into the traditional trap so they can shop, and they get higher margin, more purchases, and more impulse buying in store.
And you've got to remember, though, that people shopping in live stores is a huge part of the Christmas experience overall. And I actually think that having this empty car park is quite a nod to the experience that it's been for the last few years, where you kind of turn up expecting massive crowds in the car park, but you can actually get in and get out really, really easily.
Although I will say this, to be fair, if you have to park on the roof, the rest of it is full. No one ever goes straight to the roof, right? That is literally the worst place to park. For many, Christmas is the time of the year the whole family meets up and realises why they don't meet up more often. So the ads focus on other relationships. John Lewis has a boy befriending an alien.
Sometimes it's hard to recognize. Love comes as a surprise, and it's too late.
Apple has a girl befriending a snowman. Until next year, when Apple releases a new snowman that costs twice as much but isn't compatible with this snowman. But Big W is all about mum.
She wanted the one with the high-speed bearings. I mean, can she do it? Now he can feel the burn every day.
Best Christmas ever.
Every day. These gifts aren't for me.
Hello? Well, maybe a little bit for me.
What about stoic old mum? Did anyone get her a present?
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, babe. Now we can go running together.
Next Christmas, a divorce. Carolyn, what kind of thinking, if any, goes into the creation of an advertising mum?
So Big W have gone very traditional with the way they've portrayed the mum here. And there is a lot of thinking that goes into it because we do use stereotypes to bring family members to life. And one of the things that brands mostly do really well, and there's a nod to it in this as well, is this idea that mum's in on a secret to make her life better if you incorporate her brand in some way. So you have a very traditional mum who is not offensive in any way. She's not too old, she's not too young, she's not too fat, she's not too thin. She's average, really average, friendly-looking mum. And then she's also very personable, so she can deal with all the stuff that's life throwing at her, but she has a little in because she's got your brand on her side to make her life better. So I'm glad to see, though, that we are starting to see in other advertising that there's an evolution from this, where mum can be pissed off and mum can actually bite back and tell the husband to wash up or do whatever else the case may be. We are seeing the evolution from this very middle-class, middle-of-the-road, nice person to something that might be a little bit more of the reality.
I actually think this ad, in comparison to other ads in the TV, is a better representation of mum. At least this one you see that, like, I think there is a thing where parents can love their family but not like the members of the family, and I think we actually see that with her, which we rarely ever see. Like, mothers are meant to be doting and caring, and I think this is the problem with showing a trope like this. It's often just what a marketer decides, and they're so afraid of shifting from this vanilla representation. Like, I remember being in discussions with clients where they didn't want to show mum at work because they were worried it was going to offend someone, even though the clients were all working full-time mothers. So I think having a mother that doesn't really love every little bit of a family in a doting way that's kind of a little bit Stepford wife is a step in the right direction, which I'm not seeing in other ads at the moment.
Christmas ads are also addressing that whole pandemic thingo. UK supermarket Tesco received backlash for its double-vax Santa.
Santa could be quarantined.
Next. Joe Rogan thought that was real. While German supermarket Penny leaned into missing out in this nearly 4-minute short film we cut down because we respect your time.
Was wünschst du dir eigentlich zu Weihnachten?
Ich wünsche mir, dass du nicht immer zu Hause rumhängst. Dass du dich einfach rausschleichst.
Ja, ich bin gleich da.
Wir nicht wissen, wo du bist. Ich wünsche mir, dass du hier heimlich eine Party feierst. Und dass du diesem Mädchen endlich sagst, dass du sie liebst. Ich wünsche mir einfach, dass du deine Jugend zurückbekommst.
And it's now or never. I'm gonna live forever.
Oh, who said the Germans had no sense of humour? Russell. Is it smart to remind consumers of the thing?
Yeah, well, yes. And I think that it would not be smart just to ignore it because, of course, people have had varying degrees of pain and it's affected them in different ways. It's very, very hard to do social commentary advertising. It's incredibly hard to, let's just call it worthy advertising, advertising that wants to actually make a comment about society. It's tough. It's really tough to do. And in the main, it sometimes can make you want to vomit. This one, I actually think is stunning. And I think it's stunning, obviously, because it's beautifully written, it's very well acted, and it says things which I think that the young people don't expect their parents to think that. And yet parents have always thought that. Parents want their children to let loose, to let fly, to sneak out, to do naughty things. They don't want their children to get into trouble. They don't want their children to get hurt, to make, you know, catastrophic mistakes. But they absolutely want their children to test the edge. And that hasn't been what's occurred over the last 20 months. And for parents that are watching that commercial, I think that they'll be thankful that it's been made. So as I say, I think the parents are going to say, thank you, advertiser, for doing that piece of social commentary-worthy advertising, because you've said it way better than I could.
I'm sick of the pandemic. Like, completely...
I mean, controversial take. Slow down a little. I think you're out on a limb there, the only person who's sick of the pandemic.
Yeah, I get where Russell's coming from. That was a very well-considered response to it, but just put it in the past. Like, no, everyone knows that it's been a shit couple of years. We don't necessarily want to continue going on with it. And it doesn't make us feel better to remember all the things we've missed out on. So I'm not entirely sure how it drives customers into their store.
I want to talk about songs in ads, which, much like a Christmas ham, are being butchered. There's Kmart. Waiting for someone to come. Big W.
Imagine me and you. I do.
Maya.
You know what you want for Christmas?
I'm not really sure. Surprise me, hon. You're so good at picking.
And this.
There is a nut. Well, it's technically a legume. And you can't spell like you without you and me.
Gotta say, I love this new series of Farmer Wants a Wife. And now I know what I want for Christmas, earplugs. So, Karen, what is the thinking behind this bad singing trend?
Well, like, marketing is a very powerful tool, but I think in Australia, most marketers can't afford to pay for an original track as it is because our budgets are so small, so they often have to have them performed by someone else. And instead of having them done by amateur theatre kids, it's a bit more funny and ownable, and I think more self-depreciating to have it performed in a really comedic way. But actually there is a bit of a trick to it, because TV, even though it's a visual medium, is kind of audio first, because we know that when TV ads are on, people aren't sitting there like this. They're like looking at their phones or they're in their kitchen. So there's like a technique where you make a bit of a weird audio noise in like about the first 6 seconds, because what it does is it makes people look up from their phones and turn and grab their attention and then watch for the rest of the ad.
Except you're not going to watch because the singing's so shit.
That's also relatable.
I prefer quality singing, Will.
Do you? So you don't like this
no,
singing trend?
It's affected. It's affected. And there's not enough thought put into it. In the end, give me a bloke dancing on a car park with paint, right? Because there's a genuine attempt to entertain there. There's nothing entertaining about that. It's just no good.
Well, which one are you referring to? I mean,
all of them.
Christmas music is used because there is a direct association with, I guess they call it giving, or spending, and retail, and Christmas music in any form does a great job, and we know that. I mean, there's plenty of research that shows how powerful Christmas music is to prompt people to spend.
What, and as a result, the brand gets to own that advertising because they've got a 6-year-old singing Joy to the World? It's not going to work. There's nothing sticky happening. There's nothing sticky. There's this whole desire just to sort of let's all make the same advertising. It's just mad. The agency has got to advise the client to do something that actually is different. It actually cuts through.
So I just want to be clear. You don't like the ad.
Which one? They're all garbage.
Not really sure who this guy is on the screen, but if you could get Russell back into the studio, that'd be handy. Some brands boldly invent their own Brixmas folklore. Australia Post remain delusionally upbeat. While Norway's Australia Post, although I think it's called something different there, made this ad.
Jeanette, er fin, da. Den er fin. Vi kommer til å savne deg. En dag i året.
Heia! God jul!
Jeg fikk tak i litt assistanse i år, så jeg kan være sammen med deg.
Oh, now I feel ripped off. The only thing I get from my postman is this. Carolyn, is it risky to reimagine Christmas mythology?
Well, you would imagine coming off a clip where we've just seen a kissing Santa that might seem pretty risky. But actually, Christmas lore and Christmas myth is something that advertisers have been playing with for a hell of a long time, from when Coke originally invented what Santa, the modern-day Santa, currently looks like, to being able to go and imagine it for Australia. So we see so many ads that bring in, you know, the prawns on the barbecue and there's time around the pool. All of these things are, if you like, disturbing what we see as being the original myth of Christmas, but they feel very natural to us, and so no, it's not really risky at all.
I like it a lot. I think that the major thing to do during the Super Bowl of advertising, which is Christmas, is to stand out, and finding a way to stand out is very, very difficult. And what I find particularly impressive about this is it's government advertising. I mean, just imagine our government running this ad. This is...
No, I cannot imagine that.
So it's impressive in that it's a spin on belonging and togetherness and love, and it has an agenda, and it's showing its agenda. And it's a company that's been around for over 350 years. And I think that's impressive that they've decided to use that platform. Now, I also understand the criticisms. I just don't agree with them. So the major criticisms that's come out saying it's rainbow capitalism, you're just exploiting Santa, Santa has a historic figure. But what makes me laugh about that is we are completely okay and totally fine with Santa being used as a capitalist icon and the greatest salesman on earth to flog products that we don't need to people that don't have money to pay for them. We're okay with that. But when the company uses Santa as a way of talking about love and belonging, poo-poo. I think it's great. I really like it.
Oh, yeah, when Santa's, like, got a whole bunch of slave elves working in his workshop for, like, Amazon-like conditions, we're fine with that.
What you've also got to remember, though, this ad actually isn't focused on Santa. So if you watch this in its entirety for the full 3 minutes, it's actually a very compelling story about a man who is actually finding his identity and finding out who he is at a much older age. I encourage everyone to go and have a look at it online because it does take you on a journey with it, and it's certainly not just about gratuitous Santa kissing. And it's thin Santa. You know, this is something that's also pretty... We don't really see thin Santa in this part of the world, so it's interesting.
Yeah, well, that's the difference, isn't it? Hetero Santa lets himself go. Hetero Santa doesn't give a shit about his appearance. He's just like, I'll get a bigger pair of pants. Anyway, they're red, they're comfy, you can let the belt out, love. Anyway. The most depressing Christmas campaign came from cereal stunters Heinz.
Now, for those who dread the big task of cooking up a Christmas feast, Heinz has come up with a solution. Dubbed Christmas in a Can.
Christmas is cancelled. That's cancel no culture. So, what is in it?
It's a full-on festive treat. Turkey, Brussels sprouts, pigs in blankets, you name it.
Thank you, Aldi Russell Brand. I'll name it, but I won't eat it. The soup looked about as appealing as pureed Rudolph, and... I think I can see his red nose in there. And people were excited, commenting, yuck. Sounds yuck. And sounds minging, I don't want a soggy dinner. But we know one man who would. Russell. Now, we couldn't get you one because it turns out it was a marketing stunt and they only made 500 of them. So instead, we got you a better marketing stunt. Merry scrambles, Russ! And now the pitch. This week, work. Whether you work 9 to 5, 24/7 or 4:20 from home, by the end of the week, everyone is ready to primo scramble. So we asked our agencies to rethink the working week. First up, a pitch to convince employers to back a 4-day work week.
Hi, we're from BCM Group. We all know there are wellbeing benefits of a 4-day week for staff.
But to convince employers, we thought we'd focus on their sanity. Take a look.
Studies show a 4-day workweek results in a reduction in staff stress and burnout. But modelling also indicates significant mental health benefits for employers, as we experience 20% less employee BS. Such as 20% less of Dale's public attempts to kiss your ass. The pink one, a 20% drop in Felicity sharing rumours she, thought you should know. A 20% decline in Cass stealing office supplies to support her side hustle. And a 20% reduction in Dennis being Dennis. So, if your inbox is full of urgent, non-urgent staff requests, switch to a 4-day work week and enjoy 20% less of their BS.
Well, you've convinced me. And now a pitch to convince employees to support a 6-day work week.
Hi, we're Adam and Angus from Jack Nimble. We read that robots are set to take 20 million jobs by the year 2030, and that sounds pretty soon.
Robots can obviously work 24/7, so the robot domination is pretty much inevitable, which means we're left with one choice.
Don't feel sorry for the robot. He took Greg's job. He's taking yours next. If you don't work more, something will.
Well, you've convinced me, but what will our panel think? Todd, which did you prefer?
I thought they were both really good. I thought the performance in the first one, the main character, was exceptional. And I love the idea of 20% less bullshit. But I couldn't go past playing on the existential fear of the AI robotic takeover. And so I'm going for 2.
Carolyn, what about you?
I really liked both ads as well. I just felt like the first one actually really tapped into a lot of managers' mindsets going, yeah, this is exhausting. We can get this done in 4 days if we just cut out all the extra crap that people waste time with.
Karen, what about you? Which did you prefer?
I believe ID1 just slightly got me over the edge because it spoke to managers in a way that would really convince them that it's something they should take on, because often they're the biggest barrier to accomplishing a 4-day work week. So I think I'm going to go with number 1.
Russell, what about you? Which did you prefer?
So number 2, I thought was really powerful and motivating. Great stuff. But number 1, it reminded me of my favourite commercial ever, Black Currant Tango. It was in that genre, so it's got to be number 1 for me.
Which means, congratulations, BCM Group. We will send this to HR. Now, to one of the most infamous coke-ups in history.
Introducing the greatest taste discovery in 100 years. Introducing the new taste of Coca-Cola.
The 1985 launch of Coke's new flavour went so well, it led to 400,000 complaints and the original corporate non-apology.
When we brought you the new taste of Coke, we knew that millions would prefer it, and millions do. And we knew that it would beat the taste of our major competitor, and it does. What we didn't know was how many thousands of you would phone and write asking us to bring back the classic taste of original Coca-Cola.
See, that's why we'd never change a good thing here at the Gruen Transfer, Planet Sweat, whatever. And now Coke are once again spruiking a new taste. They should call it Coke Zero Chance This Goes Well. Other brands are messing with their flavours too. There's burger-flavoured shapes, chip-flavoured chips, Nutrigrain-flavoured oak, and oak-flavoured Nutrigrain. More than 30 new flavoured milks hit the shelves this year, including Zuper Duper Ice Block Milk, and they taste far from Zuper.
I'm getting this feeling of like this kind of oily coating surrounding my mouth. Ooh, that's kind of bitter. Not good. That's not good.
They should just market one flavour. Yuck. Karen, what's going on with all these upsetting flavours?
So they are upsetting, but that's kind of the idea. They're meant to be short-term novelty, and that's because they're just designed to get press coverage. Like, what is the most audacious thing you can create that will end up with, like, Karl Stefanovic, like, gobbling it up on air? And so this is a problem that isn't designed by brands. It's actually created by supermarkets like Coles and Woolworths, who make brands come in every season and pitch to them new innovations to put on shelf to retain their own shelf space. Because marketers know that if you go in the aisle to buy your Lamington Smiths, you're still going to grab a packet of the original flavour, because in case, like, as a consumer, if you buy something that you think might be gross, you still want to have a packet of chips at the end of the day, so you're going to stick with something that you know. So it just ends up that you love the flavour more, you bring back lapsed users, and you're essentially just selling a product for twice the price.
There are some house rules when it comes to marketing flavours. Only women eat fancy chips, and the ads must look like the worst Mona exhibition ever. But one shockingly inconsistent thing around the world is colour, where in the UK, salt and vinegar chips, crisps, are green.
That's not good.
That is not good. Carolyn, you can't taste ads yet. What are the tricks for depicting flavour?
Yeah, so flavour's obviously done by the origin ingredient. So we see abundance, we see dripping, we see tumbling through air. We see all of the things of the original ingredient that it's named after being presented in a really fresh and delicious sort of way. We also see the person eating. So actually watching someone else eat something that they're really enjoying stimulates our appetite as well. So what they're trying to do is show delicious food, which will stimulate our appetite, person enjoying it, which will stimulate our appetite, and then tie the brand in at the end so people can go buy it.
Yeah, taste is not a single sense. It's a concoction. Like flavour is a concoction in the brand. It's a multi-sense. You can taste with your eyes, you can taste with sound. It's a combination of many things. And we know that verbal cues work really, really well. Snap, crackle, and pop, even lines like finger licking good are all taste lines. And visual cues, as was in that ad, you know, simple things, fire equals hot. You know, so there's plenty we can do, but we know that even within, well, most major businesses have food stylists or food scientists that are concentrated on making everything either look better or come across as fresher, or so you get that kind of taste or that flavor experience just by looking at it. I mean, so there are plenty of ways. You don't need to, you don't need to have it in your mouth to taste it when it comes to advertising.
So advertising plays a role, of course, in taste. So let's go back to Coca-Cola. When they launched Diet Coke, they told us to drink it just for the taste of it. They totally convinced us that the taste of Diet Coke was worthwhile, which, I'm not so sure about that. Coca-Cola is they're unbelievable in the past at using the sheer weight of advertising in order to get people to believe something. So I was in a brief many years ago for Sprite, and they said, we want to own thirst. And I laughed. I said, you cannot be serious. You want to own thirst? So they come up with a line, image is nothing, thirst is everything, obey your thirst. And then you research it, and 6 months later, what is the product that actually satisfies me most when I'm thirsty? Well, it's this one here. So you have the ability via advertising, through weight of advertising, to say, this tastes really good, or if you're thirsty, drink this.
And while New Coke was Coke's biggest failure, it wasn't their only failure. There was Coke Life, which was killed, Diet Coke Plus, which was a minus, and Coke Black Cherry Vanilla, which proves 3 wrongs make another wrong. Oh, and this very honestly named Coke product from 1993.
We urge you to drink OK with full confidence that things are going to be OK.
Spoiler, they were not. That's all we have time for this week. Please thank our panel, Russell, Karen, Carolyn and Todd. We'll leave it tonight with a story behind an iconic ad for one of nature's favourite flavours.
Hi, I'm Janet. Making the banana ads was so much fun. It was really a family community affair. My husband and I created the campaign. Our 3 daughters starred in the commercials. Director Craig Chapman, his kids were in the ads. And of course they were well rewarded. They got $50 each and as many bananas as they could eat on the day.
Seems fair. We'll see you next week.
I'm Hayley and I was in 3 of my parents' banana commercials. The jingle pursued me throughout classrooms, and then as I became a teenager, the banana jokes became pretty inappropriate.
My name is Clover. I did make my child star debut very early on. I'm in a really public place right now, so this is not humiliating at all. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Banana, banana, banana,
banana, banana, make those bodies sing.